Really good to see a full house here. And thank you for coming in. I think we had some very interesting programs, events yesterday, which is probably some of them I attended very inspirational to hear some real stories of people. Today also we start the day with two inspirational stories of two fantastic people who have done some interesting work in their space in the area of physical well-being. Thank you, Bobby and Dev, for being here. And Prem, thanks for coming here in the morning, being with the group. So my task is to introduce our facilitator, and it's pretty awkward that I introduce Shikha, because most of you know Shikha better than you know me, because she has been a person probably responsible for this beautiful building, the way it looks, from starting from that to probably hiring a lot of you in the system and things like that. But why I stand here to introduce Shikha is to just give what makes her the right person to kind of anchor this session. One is that she's a fantastic anchor. And if I were to really describe Shikha in one word, is very similar to the tagline of Scheider. Shikha is always on. So if you go speak to her at any point of time, is a person full of energy, a can-do attitude, and a positive mindset is what makes Shikha what she is. And also she's a true role model in well-being. So she practices the aspects of physical, emotional, mental, social well-being in her personal and professional lives. And she sometimes kicks me. She actually gives me books to read, saying that, look, you are nowhere there. So she's kind of a coach guide. She pushes me. She actually not just practices it. That's what makes the difference. She actually spreads the message of well-being. I just attended her energy workshop session yesterday, fantastic session, along with Shabana. She conducted that. So she actually has trained over 500 plus people on the aspects of energy and well-being and things like that. And that is from a physical classroom sessions. But she spreads the message in her day-to-day life. She tells people about it. She touches so many people around the aspects of well-being. And there's no better person than Shikha to facilitate the session. I request Shikha to come over and introduce the speakers and start the session.
Thank you. Is it okay? Can you hear me? Yes. All right. So whenever I hear Binu introducing me, it's always very impressive. I get impressed with myself, which is not often. Just before we were coming and I was speaking with our speakers today, I was thinking, am I really the right person to be hosting this session? Because yes, I do a lot of stuff around emotional, mental and social well-being, but as you can very obviously see, not so much around physical.
Cutting in and out.
Okay, so this mic doesn't work properly apparently. So as it obvious, not so much around physical well-being, and here we are going to have two role models talking about what they do, how they do, and how we can get inspired by that. So I was thinking, am I really the right person? But after hearing Binu, for sure, I am the right person. Okay, so let's get on with it. We've organized it like a cafe, like I told you in the beginning, and those of you who came late. So this is a coffee shop and we've ordered the coffee, and it is going to take some time to arrive, like in a regular coffee shop. I have to position myself well away from the speakers. Okay, so, hi Rekha, you can come here. So, you know, whenever I have spoken to people around doing something about their physical well-being, or mental or emotional or social, there are always some very good excuses. Excellent excuses as to why we cannot do it. Some of it is listed out here. These are the shackles that are binding us from doing what we really want to do, but there is always a very good reason not to do it. The most important reason that I have heard again and again, and maybe you are replaying it in your mind, is I don't have time. I'm commuting for like 3 hours each day. There's so much traffic on the road. 5 hours, yes, Rekha is commuting for 5 hours each day. There are kids at home, I have to spend time with them. Then there is a maid, there are other responsibilities, there is deadline, there are these bosses who are always sitting on my head and are pushing me to do things or not do things. Where is the time to do all this? I know some of you attended the panel discussion yesterday, and you did hear some of our senior leaders talk about how they do it. And today we are here to bust these myths. We are here to challenge you out of these excuses. We are here to show you how it is possible to do it in spite of doing everything else that you do in your daily life. Probably you will have to cut down on your WhatsApp time or TV time. We will see. Alright, so let me begin first by inviting our panelists or the key members of the coffee shop. I'm going to read out a bit, which normally I don't like, but okay, just not to make sure I don't make any mistakes. So I'm going to share with you two stories. Okay, the first one is the story of somebody who started his life the normal way, like all of us have done. He did his studies, did his engineering from a very prestigious college, IIT Chennai, and then has been working in areas of engineering software applications. So all you guys who are working in software or related to software, here is your role model. Then he is now the software delivery head, and you can imagine the responsibilities that come with that role. Okay, so plus he has a family, he is married, there are family commitments, there are kids to coach, there are friends to socialize with, there are neighbors, there is life. So life is happening. So that's how he has been living his life. In addition, he is very passionate about Bangalore's history. So he has done a lot of research about the city's history, what are the key milestones, and he's been recognized for this in various newspapers and public forums. Now, what is making this story unique? What is making it different from your and my story? It is the fact, just one data point, last year he's done 6,000 kilometers on cycle. Thank you. I was hoping for an applause. He is a big cycling and walking enthusiast. Not only has he done it for himself, and that's where the best part is, he established a cycling club, he spread the message, he's been enrolling and motivating lots and lots of people to join the club. And now we have more than 100 Scheider employees cycling in Software India offices. Excellent. It's almost as if the queue is written there. Okay, so he normally commutes to work on a cycle, which by the way is 26 kilometers one way. So you can imagine. There goes your myth about physical strength and all that. Very, very proudly, I am presenting to you Udaya Kumar, who's heading Software Delivery Center, and he's based in our Schneider Electric office on the Outer Ring Road. Udaya, please.
I was 5'5" before. I grew a foot after you.
Same as me. All right. We want to show you a small clip of just a portion of what he's been trying to do and being very successful at it. This video itself has busted lots of my myths, and we will talk about it going forward. Alright, then, now I'm going to, you may say, yeah, but it is Schneider, we are way too soft on our employees, we give them a lot of time to do all these things. Work-life balance is such a big deal out here. Okay, let us get somebody who's not from Schneider. How about that? So this is the story of a boy who was very moderately physically active during the school days, but grew up, like most of you here, a spoiled child. During his college, he did all that many of you have done: smoking, partying, whatever you may imagine. Then for sure he joined the corporate life, like all of us, and then started the cycle, stretch work time, cycle meaning the process, okay, not the cycle that we've just seen. The process of, working long hours, doing heavy travels, socializing, client socialization, making friends, colleagues at work, partying with them, and so on and so forth. So it is a normal, usual life, probably a bit more exciting than mine, but nonetheless normal, okay? Then he was found to have slightly higher cholesterol levels, and then, as always, doctor said, no medicine, but you must do regular exercise. Okay, it was going on like that. And then he started running, okay? He started running in a very small way. It's not like you become marathon runner in one day, we can vouch for that. And then it developed into a full-time passion. So now, this boy is known as India's marathon man. He is the first Indian to run Boston Marathon barefoot. Another very, very impressive statistic, which personally I find very impressive. In the recent TCS 10K run, World Run, for sure he won in his category, in his age category. He won in the age category up to 15 years younger than him. And is he a full-time runner? Meaning that he's given up everything and he's just, practicing all the time and just preparing for marathons? Not really. He has a full-time job. I've been to his house. He's not only doing a full-time job, he's also big way into waste reduction. He's into green living and reducing the carbon footprint that all of us have. And of course, he has the normal, usual family commitments, which we feel, all of us feel, are the things which are not letting us do what we would like to do. So here I introduce you to Thomas Bobby Phillip. He's an ardent runner and a promoter of barefoot running. Welcome, Bobby. Please. Okay, so now that I have sufficiently impressed you with the credentials of our panelists, I'm going to quickly get into the topic and I'm going to ask some questions to them. Okay, does it work better like this?
Yes.
Yeah?
You'll have to just hold it.
Okay. Apparently I have to hold it. No, it doesn't work. So I will hold it, and in case you can't hear me, no. Okay, so my first question, and I will start with Bobby, you. So my first question is, where did it all start from? Why did you take it up in the first place?
You may need to switch that.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for the nice introduction. Yeah, and as correctly said, I had never been, my history has never been as an active sportsman. Yeah, so I always keep saying that running has been accidental, but something good, and it has just progressed across years. So what triggered me into this is, it started off with this typical busy corporate life, working almost literally 16, 17 hours a day, where even 17 hours a day is still less, you have to work even more. Lots of travels and everywhere, so it was really a great life. But in that, it for sure impacts the health. With all the travels, you never eat your homemade food. You eat everything outside, so it impacted health. And when I just went for a regular health checkup, I realized that cholesterol was on the higher side. So as you always, doctor recommends, you need to do some sort of an exercise. So what happened is, just a month after that, my daughter had her school sports event. So I just thought I will get her prepared for her sports, and you can't just one day go and run a competition, right? You need to prepare yourself. So I just started running with her around 200 meters. So first day I could run 200 meters, second day I could run around 300 meters or 400 meters, third day I could do that 400 meters 2 times, fourth day, again I could do it, so there was a visual improvement day on day, which is really, not typical in anything that we do, where you can actually see yourself improving time on time. So that really inspired me. So, we did that together for around almost a week, and then her sports event got over, she stopped, and I continued with it. So I continued, and then, so there was really a good improvement happening day on day. Then I was lucky to get introduced to a running club, a Nike running club, where they actually provide a proper routine, where there's a warm-up drill, you do a run, there's a cool down, there's stretches, strengthening exercises. Got introduced to that, and a lot of inspiring. So one of the key things is you need to have an inspiration. So I really got a lot of inspiring people, and it just progressed from there.
Thank you, Bobby. And then to you, Uday, where did it all begin from?
Yeah, so much this very similar. How I got into cycling was accidental. Like people here, I've been a Whitefielder for a long time, been working in Whitefield for a very long time, 17, 18 years. So, for, like somebody said, 5 hours, it's always been a similar story. 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, all of that. A few years ago, we said we want to do a similar campaign for fitness, and we'll try cycle to work 1 day a week. So we did that, a few of us did that. And the first day when I got to office, my mind was absolutely sharp. So the expectation is when you cycle that long to office, you have a long day at work, you'll feel tired, all of that, right? In fact, it was exactly the opposite. I was so alert, and I was impatient with anyone who was unwilling to kind of respond and act quickly. I didn't have the time or the patience to tolerate, nuisance for long. That's when I figured that, the way to come to office is by cycle. Car is really, is killing you. It's killing us. And that's, the 1 day a week then became 2 days a week. And slowly kind of we said, why use a car at all? We can as well start using a cycle. That's how we started.
So
I don't know if you caught the key message. The key message is, if the boss is cycling, you better start cycling to stay as short. Okay, so again, Uday, I come back to you and say, so fine, you started cycling and you saw some benefits, but what kept you going? Why should you continue doing it?
So, getting to office was always an issue. If there were a meeting at 9 o'clock, I could start at 6:30 and still be late for the meeting. If there were a meeting at 5 o'clock in the evening that I could not walk away from, that meant I get home at 9 o'clock. So, keeping schedules was a big issue. And when I started to cycle, I realized it took me 80 minutes plus or minus 3 minutes every day of the week, any time of the day. It didn't matter if I was doing peak hours, non-peak hours, lunch hours, whatever hours, every time it's 80 plus or minus 3. So keeping schedule was something which was so much more easier to do, number one. And like I said, once you experience the endorphins kicking in, that's motivation enough as well. So when you drive in a car, you end up in a bad mood in the office. You don't feel really so good like other days.
So, to beat the traffic, to beat the people cutting your way on the road, to beat the getting delayed for meetings, cycle. All right. So, Bobby, my next question is to you. For sure, when you started the whole journey towards taking up long distance running, there must have been some roadblocks or some challenges or maybe some internal inertia that you may have experienced, and that's what we are here about. What did you experience and how did you manage that?
Yeah, I mean, in life, challenges are much more than do anything is a challenge, right? That's always been the case. So, as always, running, especially since I do not come from this background, it's been a much bigger challenge in various aspects. So, the first thing is, to get the time out of your thing. Second is your physical capabilities. You are limited by your physical capabilities because you have never been a good runner, and then you really need to develop yourself. So that same thing as he said, you do it once a week, and then you're happy, then you do it twice a week. So he took those decisions consciously and has done it. So now it is no longer that challenge for him. Same has been with me. I mean, in my case, it's really been extremes. I really test my physical capabilities. Like for example, in the year 2009 is when I started. I started off with 10K. You become better than 10Ks. Then you want to progress towards the next higher distance, which is 21 kilometers, called as 21.1, which is called as a half marathon. You do a half marathon, and then you want to do something even more. You want to do a full marathon. So to do a full marathon training, you really need to devote a lot of time. You need to spend, because in a busy schedule where you have your job, full-time job, you have your family, you have your house, there's so many other commitments, and ensuring that you getting this time out, also keeping yourself fit. That's again very important, to keep yourself fit to run that sort of a distance. So lots of challenges. I mean, think of it, it's only challenges if you think of it. In this challenging life, how do you make it possible is where you put in your passion. I mean, if you have a passion, if you really want to do something, you get your time out. I mean, as correctly said, you need to stop WhatsApp. I do not have a WhatsApp account. I do not have a WhatsApp account. I seriously, I had it for some time, then I said it is just beyond management, because you do not have time for that. Seriously.
And can you also comment on your Facebook?
I communicate a lot through my Facebook account, and use that as a channel to talk, to communicate with people. My experiences I share. Not only into running, but I am also into, as she said, introduced me, I am also into green sort of a green lifestyle. That is, I was just telling them, garbage from my house. I mean, that thought just came when she came home. Nice of her really to come home and have a discussion with me. I was really impressed with that. Yes, really. Thank you so much. Yeah, so during the discussion, it just came to mind that time that actually garbage from my house goes out only once in 2 months. So seriously, and another thing again, today morning during the discussion I realized, none of us in our house ever use the dustbin. None of us. It's only my housemaid who uses the dustbin, because nothing is there for us to throw in the dustbin. So anything which is organic, which is vegetables, food waste, everything goes. We have a small plastic. We put it in that. At the end, I put it into a compost bin. We have another one NGO who comes and collects all the dry waste. So everything is either dry or organic. So never ever will you find anything which, nothing is a garbage. Actually, garbage is something we have called it as garbage because we don't need it. For me, it's a crime. If you cut any fruits, throwing it in the garbage is really a crime. That is not the place for it. It should be composted. Yeah, so that's how it's supposed to be.
By the way, you can search Bobby on Facebook and on internet. I did that. But if you send him a friend request on Facebook, no luck, because he's already exceeded the limit. So Udaya, I wanted to ask you a similar question. Okay, given that Scheider is very much into well-being and all of that, but still there are some responsibilities you have at your work and at the home. How do you find time to do what you want to do?
Alright. So what I have done is I've integrated exercise into my daily life. By the way, I have a happy family.
I'm sure.
And happy peers and happy colleagues and happy everybody else. So what I did was, instead of carving out a separate time and say, I'm going to walk 1 hour in the morning, run 1 hour in the morning or in the evening or whatever, I now use a cycle as my standard commuting vehicle for anywhere. Most days it is only to office. Right? So I save time in terms of commuting to office, and I get a hell of a lot of exercise. So in that way, it's not disruptive at all. In fact, and the other health benefits as well. I don't suffer in a car, traffic jams, and honking, and all of that. So finding time was absolutely easy. There was no need to find any additional time. There was a lot of time in hand.
I just, out of curiosity, I was just imagining you cycling on the outer ring road, for example, during peak traffic time. So there are two things which come to my mind. What comes to my mind is the smoke all around, which I'm inhaling involuntarily, and I'm also imagining, because till date we don't have separate cycling lanes, so I'm imagining either car drivers giving me dirty looks or trying to trample all over me. How do you manage that?
So there's a few assumptions you made, and these are assumptions anyone who doesn't cycle usually make. If you are on a cycle and if you are on outer ring road, you must be insane. There are a zillion roads in Bangalore city which are completely empty, a lot of tree cover, and no traffic. These are the inner roads of the city, which are roads normally not convenient for a car or a bus. So you can use these roads, not get run over, don't breathe the smoke, and don't get dirty stairs, whatever anyone does. So if you, it is like walking. You might be walking from point A to point B. You don't take the same route that you would do if you would do it on a car. There's lots of other options.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay. So I'm hoping you will soon publish a cycling map for all of us, which we can follow.
Or just get off the beaten track. Every route will take you to wherever you want.
Okay. So back to you, Bobby. The question I have is, how has life or a typical day for you changed, like before and after, before you took up running and after? Is there any change to your schedule? Is there any change to your daily life?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, lots of changes come in, so you need to find your time out from this schedule. And yeah, the most interesting topic is, how do you find that time out from your schedule? You know, always there's this discussion happening in a busy schedule when everyone, and it's always the successful people who find the time out, right? Because they really know how to extract unnecessary things. I mean, remove it off from your schedule. Like for example, try to sleep as early as possible in the evening. If you are a morning runner, then you sleep as early as possible. There would be 100 reasons for you not to sleep early, because you might quickly go to either to some news or from WhatsApp accounts and your Facebook accounts. So you have to just stop all of that. Go to bed early. Get up at least 30 minutes earlier than your normal schedule. Find that you get that extra 30 minutes, so you just go out. So similarly, and that just keeps improving. Yeah. So you start off with that 30 minutes, and then it becomes 40. I mean, that's how I have worked on. So for me, I still remember the moment I stay close to the old airport. In the old airport, I stay close to the old airport, and one day I remember I ran from the old airport till MG Road, and I came back. For me, that is like unbelievable moment. Wow! I ran till the till MG Road and came back. Am I human? It's literally. That's the kind of feeling I had for the first time when I ever did it. Also then, running from the old airport to Malpahalli and going back is again that same 10 kilometers. And then when I progressed, I did both. I went to Malpahalli, came back, and then went to MG Road and came back. That's 20 kilometers. I mean, these moments are just unforgettable moments to have achieved something so significant. So I mean, a lot of these things actually motivate you to keep doing more and more and more, so just this motivation. So you're always motivated or inspired to achieve things, and I personally feel that I'm really surrounded by a lot of such inspiring people, inspiring stories. Lots of them you get to hear.
Thank you. So Uday, another question for you. I know that you spoke about that you've incorporated it in your daily life and it doesn't feel like an exercise anymore. But nonetheless, it is an exercise in some way or the other. So what is the transformation, or what's the change that you've experienced for yourself?
A lot. So, in terms of being better at work, far better at work than before. Like I said, when you have exercised in the morning and then you go to the office and you have a shower, whatever, and then you're at work, your mind is at absolute best.
Yeah.
But the amount of work you get done is amazing. That's one. And a whole lot of other things, because we use cycling as a means to go and explore the city, go outside the city and all that. A lot of places that were unknown to me before, very nice places with a lot of historical and whatever other significance, you get to go and explore. And because your cycling speed is so low, you enjoy the commute differently. You get time to talk to people. Stop. You get to stop and talk to people wherever you want. You can see whatever you want and all that. So my own understanding of the city, what's happened, what kind of lifestyle outside is enormous. And the opportunity to interact with a different set of people. So if in the corporate life we are stuck with the same set of people in the same place with the same attitudes, with the same mindsets and all that. But you are into a cycling club or running club or whatever, you interact with a whole lot of people in a different. There's a diversity that comes into your interactions, which is very different. So in many ways, I think there's been a huge payoff since I started cycling.
So I'm hearing that it not only is about physical well-being, but also emotional and to a large extent social well-being as well. So you see one activity and multiple benefits. Think about the ROI. Okay, so we are in our cafe and surprisingly the coffee has arrived on time. And we have one another surprise for all of you. I'm going to share with you one more story and I'd invite you to guess who's this person. And I challenge you to guess the person. Okay, so we're talking about somebody who's around 50 years old, has been married for 23 years, has 2 kids, and they're the boys. Cycling is also not about technology, so it will always work. Okay, so he has 2 kids, pretty grown-up kids, 18 and 16 years. For sure, he's an engineer and an MBA. So you cannot say that, I'm an engineer and I am supposed to be more busier than the rest and I have no time for well-being activities, okay? He started pretty early racing at the national level in cross-country skiing and then stopped practicing sports for a while. Then at around 36 years of age, he started again, primarily to regain the correct balance. So you cannot say you are too late in the game and you cannot start again. By now, he has run Paris Marathon 6 times, New York 2 times, and some other marathons. He is an ultra trail runner, and he is an SVP of Power Breaker LOB. So Denny Coupe, most of us know him very well. I have known him for a long time. And I have known him for his passion for his work as also for his fitness activities. And I'm very proud to welcome you here today, Denny. And I'm very thankful that you gave us time at such short notice. So I'm going to ask you the same question that we've been discussing. I hope that mic works. So the question is, where did it all begin from? Why did you take it up and why do you continue to do it?
Thank you, Shika, and good morning to everybody. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share about my passion. And my passion is, of course, all of you know about work, because I'm a bit workaholic. So I need to balance my energy. One of the way of balancing my energy is consuming a bit more of energy to do different things and really get a bit of different activities to defocus from only one single activity from time to time. And running is also about balancing. To me, it's been a necessity because being 100% in what I was doing at work was something that I could not manage emotionally, and I needed to find an exhaust pipe to find a valve that I could lift up to remove a bit of the pressure. And it's been now a ritual for me. I'm happy and I'm very proud that Schneider Electric gives us the opportunity to race in Paris every year as an employee. And I've taken that opportunity. I've not had the chance to run Boston yet because we also need to manage the schedule over the year. But I've run twice in New York, I've run in Dublin, I've run in Roma. So I'm taking this as an opportunity to really give myself a couple of goals and remove the excuses of not waking up earlier in the morning to run. I actually take it on a regular basis. Take this morning, I had the option. I finished my emails late. Sorry, I cannot go early enough to bed, but it doesn't prevent me from waking up a bit earlier to go and exercise wherever I am. I am on an intense travel schedule, and really, to me, with the jet lag permanently, I take this as a ritual, and I go running in the gym. Even if I have no time, I find the time, and I put myself in a situation where I decide that I manage my own time, and I need to allocate part of my time in the day to that activity, because it's for my benefit, and it makes me stronger, it makes me better. I'm doing it at home, I'm doing it at work, I'm doing it during lunch break when I'm in Grenoble at the office. I'm doing it sometimes when I don't have lunch break time. I wake up a bit earlier, I go out running with snow. You can ask Chris Leong, our Chief Marketing Officer, when she sees me, I'm the man that runs whether it rains, snows, whatever, 24 hours a day. Yes, it snows also in Grenoble sometimes, not here, but and this is the way I balance it. Now, beyond my personal balance, because first of all it helps me being better and think better, because when I run, I also work. So as you were saying, Shika, it's a multitasking exercise, which is a different way of putting everything in order in my mind. So usually when I'm coming back, if I start preparing an important PowerPoint presentation for our management teams, usually I'm far more accurate and far more right to the point when I write down these presentations when I'm coming back from running, because I think I've given a bit more oxygen to my brain, and I've been able to dissociate my activity, my physical activity from my mental activity, and this has given me a bit of balance. Then I would like to go beyond that experience, because applying it to myself is something that I appreciate and gives me a lot of pride, but I'm even more proud because I have been able to share that passion with others, and I see people here in the room where running for whom running has changed their own life, and because we had the opportunity to share that passion. I have got Vikash in front of me, so Vikash started running, and I think he deserves a great round of applause.
So everybody can see.
He ran in Paris the first time, and then he shared his passion with his wife, and then they ran both of them this year together in Paris. And to me, it's a family adventure. My wife runs also with me from time to time. There are years where I do 2 marathons. One for me, running like an asshole, trying to beat my record and training like hell, and one other marathon that I run together with her, trying to beat her records and trying to give her water and to put her in the right condition. It's also a great gathering opportunity, and as you know, I'm very often away. When I come back home, if we've got the opportunity to go running together, it's really something that we have together, that the work cannot extract out of our family cocoon. And the whole family, the kids are running also, they're very much in sports, so it's really a family balance that we have created around sports. So for us it's running and skiing, but it can be any kind of sport, but it's really in our personal balance. And I agree with what you were saying. When you wake up earlier in the morning and when you have a half an hour, 1 hour run, even on a treadmill in a hotel room, in a hotel gym, when you get to work, you're different. And you're much more efficient. And if you stop at lunch for going running, even if you lose 1 hour to go running, it's an hour that you've invested, and the ROI of this hour is enormous. So, for all of you, if you decide it, you can make it. you need to apply it to you personally. It's an individual decision. Nobody's going to decide for you that you need to exercise or that you can exercise or that you will exercise. But the day you decide, you make it yourself a priority and you do it. And I can tell you, I refuse meetings during lunchtime because I've told everybody, if you want a commitment from me to attend a meeting, you need to put it into these time zones. If it's in between 12:30 and 2 at noon when I'm in Grenoble, it's optional for me because the priority during that time slot will be for running. And people in the beginning, I can tell you I've been doing that for years, in the beginning people think that I'm not available for my work. And then I've tried to impose that, and I said, well, why would you believe that I need to go for, some go to the cantina and they say, well, we have a lunch meeting and I'm inviting you for lunch. If you don't have time, we'll go for lunch. I said, but I don't go for lunch. So if you want to have a meeting at lunchtime with me, you come running with me. So, to make a long story short, it's a decision that you need to make individually because this is for you primary, and then it will benefit everybody around you, whether it is in your work environment or in your family environment. But I really hope that I can keep doing that. I think that to say that your body was a God blessing gift. I hope that my body also enables me to do it as long as I can, but I think it's a balance because as long as I do it, I can still do it. So that's it. Now really for me, and again, there are a lot of people who do it in 5-6 hours, and I've got I admire these people because first of all, they suffer twice longer than I do. And I've done a couple of marathons in 4 hours 30, 4 hours 45, and even sometimes alone, because you cannot say that you always make it on your target. Sometimes you fail your target. It's an adventure, and you're not the same person when you've done that kind of thing. And I'm very honored to be sitting next to you guys.
Thank you very much. Bobby, I want to ask you one more question. Why barefoot?
Yeah, I mean, the concept of barefoot, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, see, the world is barefoot. Humans are the only ones who has come up with this intelligent stuff like protecting your feet with a shoe. So this concept has been marketed by someone, and we feel it as a prestige to walk around with it. So it's been marketed as concept has been marketed as something very and something which will pamper you, something which will which will protect your feet, your body, your knees. But the entire universe, the lightest of animals, the heaviest of animals, no one needs any protection. Yeah, so it's a very wrong concept which has been spread. I always keep saying it's like eating food with a gloves in your hand. Yeah, eating food with a gloves. That's actually what has been done. So feet sole is said to have around 1 million nerve endings. When you put it in a shoe, it's like a dead element lying in it. It will not help you. So I'm sorry, so as barefoot runners, we really, try to promote it because there's no one who promotes barefoot. Yeah, there's no one who commercially benefits with barefoot running. So it is just barefoot runners like us who keep spreading this. So yeah, so the concept of communication with the leg and the brains happens much better when it is barefoot. So I transitioned to barefoot in the year 2012 is when I transitioned. So it took me a year to move to complete barefoot. So yeah, from 2013 I've always been running barefoot till now. So barefoot has also helped me improve my form of running. It has helped me improve my pace. Yeah, it has helped me in a lot of aspects. Also, another interesting part is it's a concept of being minimalistic. You don't really need, people say running is quite expensive, you need heavy shoes, I mean, I say you don't need shoes. You can just go do it. Start off with 1 kilometer. I mean, more challenging is our own conscious. Yeah, I mean, what would people talk about you? You know, people say you can't even afford a shoe. There have been, you know, poor people on the road. They sometimes tell me, sir, you need shoes or what? So I mean, it's fine. So you need to remove off from your own mind that running barefoot is bad. Sometimes I go for shopping barefoot. Yeah, I do it more just to promote barefoot. It's not as bad as one thinks. In fact, it is really good. You know, you need to be at least at home. Everyone should be barefoot, at least at home, because even at home, a lot of people who walk around with their slippers on or something. So at least at home, be barefoot so that there's some life, you know, which your foot can have. And then I was also discussing. I mean, as I said, concept of minimalistic. You don't really need a lot of stuffs. You know, you can lead a real simple life. So I try as much as possible to be minimalistic in wherever possible.
Would you mind?
Sorry, I just want to add that it cannot limit your pace at running, and I admire you because it's training also to run barefoot, and you need to move, and it took you 1 year. But there was a marathon at the Olympics which was run barefoot by Apele in Roma in 58 or 59, I don't know, 58. And it's not because he was barefoot that he didn't won the gold medal in the Olympic marathon.
Udaya, I come to you, and my question is, did you ever experience this inertia saying, okay, today is a very nice weather, I will sleep in a bit late, or no, today maybe not the right day to do cycling? Do you experience that, and how do you manage it?
Every day. Well, it's human. You don't want to work hard. That's natural. So you're always finding excuses. You listed a few, and one of the big ones is that. So the day I'm like, if I'm late a little bit, or it's a little cloudy or whatever, maybe today I should try the car. It's a mind-placed fix, and it's natural. The moment you jump onto a cycle, the first few seconds, and then you're wondering what kind of a fool was I to have even thought of that.
Absolutely.
So that is to say that even if you have the initial feelings, you push it back and then you still go for it.
It's absolutely natural, and I think everyone, including an Olympian, would feel that same reluctance. But the fun is you just kind of imagine what happened the last time you did that, and then you're racing. You really want to do that.
Great. Okay, so we have some great role models here. We have people who are managing to live their passion the way they want to do it. Sorry. So we have people who are managing to live their passion and the way they want to do it despite travel, despite tight work schedules, despite all the inertia that they experience. It is normal. It is natural. I now want to ask you if you have any questions or challenges for our coffee colleagues.
How do you stay injury-free, especially the knee part of it, the runners?
Okay, maybe Danny and Bobby.
I mean, I don't know. I cannot say I'm injury-free because it happens to me that I also have my little problems. Now, I mean, traveling around the world, my little problems are very, very little, so I put them at the back. And as long as I can, I ignore them. Sometimes I need to stop. This year for Paris, I had a 3 months plan. First month was fantastic. The second month, I couldn't run at all for a month because I had back issues. So I stopped for a month and I restarted running just 3 weeks before the marathon. So it happens. The thing is, mechanically, I mean, the more you run, and if you do it progressively, the more you run, the fitter you are, and if you start running 20 kilometers sessions and so on, it's not going to work. So it needs to be a progressive effort, and it's over several years. and then you get your body accustomed to doing it. I don't know, I mean, how you do it, because even bare feet, it's also something for the feet and so on.
Yeah, so in my case, I'm extremely competitive, so which is really very challenging for the body. So I put in a lot of time on my fitness. So people say they run to be fit. I say it's the other way around. You need to be fit to run. So that's where I focus a lot of my time on. I do a lot of basic fitness. I don't go to a gym because I really don't have time to go to a gym. I do it at home. So I do basic fitness, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, based on the time availability.
Throw some light on what you do in the
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of basic fitness. You can you go to YouTube and search for fitness workouts, core workouts, strengthening workouts. It will show you a lot of them. So do those, start it off easy, 10-15 minutes, as I said, you progress with time, right? So you start off with 15 minutes and then make it up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So you'll actually see yourself progressing with time. So I remember I started sometime back when I started, it was 15 minutes, and now I can do it over 1.5 hours. Just real high intensity workouts, I do it. So, but again, in my case, I'm extremely competitive. But in general, as Uday says, that's the perfect one which I find. His example is, and plus obviously he, with very high responsibility and all the travels. Travel makes it the most difficult. So you really need to have that passion. You really need to. I mean, everyone is here. I'm sure all of you want to achieve it. That's why you're all here. So it's just a commitment that you need to make. That will I take that additional 15 minutes or 30 minutes and move towards the fit lifestyle. Yeah. So it's just that.
But the travel makes it difficult, but it's also an opportunity to absorb travel better. I can give you the example. There's a flight that lands in Shanghai at about 5 p.m. This is usually the time I come into Shanghai. There are many people who would go to the bar when they reach the hotel and have a beer because they're happy after their long trip. For me, as soon as I land, I go to the gyms and I have an hour run on a treadmill because it gives me so much rest. Actually, I'm much better after, and I sleep much better. And it's just a question of making your own choices.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yes, running makes you fit, but being fit makes you run better.
Uday, do you have any tips and tricks around fitness?
Well, from the same thing that you said will happen for cycling as well. You get sores and legs will hurt and all of that will happen. You just kind of keep at it, and because most of our bodies have kind of adjusted to the soft cushioning of cars and shock absorbers and this and that, and all that takes a while to transition. The first few days will be difficult, but if you sustain and keep at it, you'll forget all that and you'll start enjoying the ride.
I have a question for you actually. Many cyclists, I love the cycling, but one of the things that many of us are scared is about tanning. You don't seem to.
Well, I have a daughter of marriageable age. Now, seriously, now the tan is temporary tan, and I really don't mind. So sometimes when you do go on the longer rides and you get back home, you do attract a few remarks, but it doesn't mean much. And like I said, I'm way past the age.
To bother about tanning. Okay, before we take any more questions, I also want to acknowledge a colleague who's present here and who's also been an inspiration, at least to me personally, and I know to many of us here. Basant, can you please stand up? So Basant is the HR business partner he's actually the HR business partner for Udaya. And as we were speaking a bit before the session, Udaya told me that he got inspired for cycling by looking at Basant because he is commuting to work every day with cycle. And he commutes to this office from somewhere on Outer Ring Road, 26 kilometers, 28 kilometers in 1 hour and 40 minutes, every time with a cycle.
And tanning is absolutely not a problem. I'm also
Maybe not for you. Okay, is there anybody else? Any questions or comments?
one would have expected.
Question to Bobby. Thanks all three of you. Bobby, thanks for saving 10,000 rupees of my next shoes. And Bobby, I ran, not ran actually, I walked 20 kilometers when I was in 12th. And I really had a lot of issues on my feet with lot of skin tone and everything, and I couldn't walk better for like a month. So how did you manage? Like in the initial stages, even you will come across all these issues like the damage, you will see blisters, you will have a lot of issues. Even wearing shoes, we will have a lot of blisters. Yeah. And when you run 42, and I know it's not an easy task. So how do you manage all these minor injuries?
Yeah, I mean, so it's just the point of transitioning towards barefoot. So yeah, barefoot is something which none of us are ever used to. So you need to be aware. Anytime you do barefoot is a shock to the body. Yeah, it's a complete shock, not just to the sole of your feet, but to your complete body, more to the legs, because your form of running changes. So you start off with 2 kilometers and then proceed to 3, 5, 7. So it's a gradual progression that you need to apply. And you really need to put yourself down, saying that I will not run more than this. So it is more of putting yourself down, because being a runner already, you just want to do it more and more. So you have to be really careful about your transition. You need to put in a plan. So the first 1 year was the most challenging part for me. But then, yeah, once I successfully came out of that transition, I transitioned successfully, then it was always been but
because once you start running long distance, 1 kilometer, you don't feel like
yeah, that's why I keep saying, yeah, since you are capable of running more, but then you will find that you get blisters. So people say blisters don't come only with barefoot, even with shoes people get blisters. So yeah, I mean, but the concept is you really need to put yourself down when you transition to barefoot. You really need to start with 5Ks and then move to 10Ks and then move to half marathons. So you just need to, because your feet is not used to barefoot. So that's the reality. Right?
We had one more question.
Can you put a little liner on your food habits? Because
food habits,
energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All this stuff.
Yeah. Food habits, you have to be extremely disciplined. Luckily, at least since I don't travel, it is much more practical for me to be disciplined, and more to do with age also. And I think in general for everyone, once you go above the age of 35, you really need to be highly disciplined with food. And in our case, so my full day diet. Luckily, my wife supports me. Everyone at home supports me with that. So yeah, there is a discipline in terms of proteins, fats, how much of carb you eat. So yeah, and I eat lots of fruits, fresh fruits. I am a voracious non-veg eater. So I get my proteins from the food. From the non-veg part. I never go outside and eat. So if I have to take my family even to a 5-star, I will have my lunch at home. Serious, you won't believe it. If we go out, I will have my lunch at home and then I take my family out.
So Denny, how do you manage food when you travel?
Very badly sometimes. I'm very disciplined also in the last, let's say 4 or 5 months when I have an objective. And then, people who know me know that I'm going to get a bit skinny and all that, so it's not the period these days, but I will quit completely drinking alcohol. I will avoid as much as I can fat, and then I will be very selective on fruits, veg, and very low fat food as much as I can. Then sweets, rapid glucids are just excluded. Carbs, low or long absorption carbs are priority. But the worst is the glass of wine after a long day far away from home. It's good also. But you cannot do that. You cannot have wine 12 months a year, but you cannot be on a diet 12 months a year either. So you need to have resting period to breathe a bit and rebuild a bit, and then I go back to more disciplined and serious food balance.
And what about you? There any specific food habits you have?
No, I don't race. I'm not into competitive thing. Yes, but it will tell. If you had bad food or you had liquor and you're going out for a day-long ride or something like that, it definitely tells. I'm not so conscious about food for fitness purposes.
Okay.
You get to burn a lot of it, so it's like 2,500 calories a day. So you can really consume
exactly.
that.
Yes, Bobby.
Yeah, I just wanted, so he was saying, all 12 months of the day, you're not. So I was just thinking, for me, I race so competitively that literally all 12 months, every day of the year. I'm so conscious, really conscious. And it's been the case since past 8 years. So for me, my competition is not people of my age category, but, as she said, 15 years younger. I win over anyone. I mean, that comes in only when you really put into discipline all of this.
Great. So, unfortunately, we are running out of time, and so we'll have to stop here. But before we close, I'd like all our guests to, if there was just one message that you think we should take away from today, what is that message? So we start with you, Bobby.
Yeah, in fact, I would put it the other way around. I would like to put it to the group, so what is it that, you would have benefited from the session? Can we expect someone to do something that, you have been inspired to do something? It would be great to
Show
hear
of
that.
hands. From today, not tomorrow. Can I?
Okay, I don't have any sporting background, but I'm going to try this.
Yeah, I would feel, seriously believe me, for me to come out today from my schedule, it really needs a lot of commitment, because I have lost my today's workout to come here. Yeah, and normally no one will do it. No one will do it. I do it only because I think we need to return it back to the world, and even busy people like them also find the time out, to spend time for all this. So I would feel far more happier if at least 4 or 5 of them, 4 or 5 of you have transitioned into a healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Udaya?
Yeah, so if you've been cursing traffic all your life, and if it's a nightmare coming to work every day, turn that into this opportunity. Take to a cycle. You will love your work day, and you will get rid of a lot of flat that you have around your belly and Thank you.
And how much does a cycle cost? Real, which everybody can buy from there.
The question is, how much does a cycle cost?
It costs a lot less than the medicines you would be paying.
And then what would you say?
So for me, of course, the output is, if we have kind of contaminated more people in this room to that kind of passion. If you have one thing to keep in mind, my advice is, there's only one boss in what you decide to do every day, it's you. And nobody else is going to decide for you. As an employer, we're putting a context around you which encourages that kind of practice, by being the title sponsor of Paris Marathon, by organizing that kind of session, and I really want to congratulate the management team for having that kind of discussion. It's I'm very happy to be here. But at the end of the day, the context will be here, the decision maker is you. And I mean, you can compromise with others, you can compromise with the context, but don't compromise with yourself. Decide to do it, or don't decide to do it, but if you decide to do it, don't find excuses. I saw that there were excuses. It's not a question of excuse, you make it happen.
So the ball is out of here and in your court now. Up to you how you make the most of all the learnings that we've had today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Udaya, thank you, Bobby, and thank you, Denny, for making time and coming here. We really found it inspiring. Just hold on for one more minute. Prem, can I ask you to please share a token of appreciation with Bobby and Udaya? And Denny, since you are our personal host.
I don't need it. My gift is here.
Exactly. Well, thank you once again, and I hope you are taking away a lot of learning from this session. Have a great day.
You manage actually your address. I change. I'll tell you right away. I use